Hey guys, welcome to Abbie'sAuras, or welcome back if you've been here before. Please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay guys, so today's video is super fun. It's actually about a topic that I've been experiencing recently, and that's why I kind of thought that if I'm experiencing it, it might be valid and helpful for you guys. I did sit down and try to do a little meditation before doing this video, just to get some insight and to really help what you guys need to know. So basically I've got some notes, I'm going to be reading a little bit off them and we're going to get right into it. So basically the video is all about food and spirituality. So how they come hand in hand and how we can change our food to help us deeper our spirituality or just higher our vibration. So this is in no way judging anyone for eating different things, because honestly I've ate so many different things and I do not judge anyone. So I just want to put that out there before I go into the video. But yeah, I'm just basically telling you my experience and it might resonate with someone. So I'm going to start off with meat because that's been my biggest change. I don't eat meat anymore, and it's really helped my spirituality journey. It's deepened it a lot, and I actually didn't stop eating meat because of that. I basically was going off meat for a long time, especially in my pregnancy with my daughter. I just kept getting like turned off by the meat and making me feel a little bit sick. But I'd always fight it. So even before I was pregnant with my daughter, I actually was getting put off like certain things, just certain meat, and it was making me feel a bit sick and I couldn't eat certain meats because of that. And then by the time I was pregnant with my daughter, there was only certain meats I could eat at that time because how many meats I've already been put off. But I've been brought up with eating like meat and then say like mash and potatoes, and not potatoes, like mash and then vegetables. That's like kind of, to me, is like a home cooked meal. Obviously there's so many different varieties of like meals like that, but you get the gist of it. So there's always been meat on my plate, and I've never really thought I would be able to be vegetarian because I didn't even know where to start. I didn't know what I would eat. I thought I'd starve. And plus I did love healthy food, but in my eyes healthy food was what, as in, you know what I said, so like some meat, some vegetables, and then something else with it. So honestly I just didn't know how I could, I didn't know how I could fill myself up without having meat. 2, I thought I would starve because I wouldn't like any of the food. And 3, I didn't know where to start. But I kept putting it off and I kept forcing myself to eat it even though I didn't like it. And then especially when I was pregnant, I was worried about not eating it because I didn't know what I was going to eat. So I just kept putting it off and forcing myself to eat these things. But yeah, it's always been a little bit of it's been progressively getting more of a niggle in the back of my mind, like, this is disgusting, stop eating it. But I never actually thought it was me being guided to not eat it. I didn't want to stop eating it, so I was ignoring, basically. I was ignoring what they were telling me to. And I was in denial that I was being guided to not eat it. So anyway, cut long story short, I eventually, after I'd stopped breastfeeding my daughter, I stopped eating meat. And it was actually a lot easier than what I thought. Like the first week I felt so much different. My mindset had changed so drastically. I really enjoyed the food a lot more. I've been more adventurous in cooking different things. And yeah, I've just continued to get more confident in that area. But not only was it my mindset that changed, it was so many different things. So I feel like I was connected to myself more. And to myself, I mean like more of my personal self. I feel more my authentic self, and then also my higher self. So I felt like I could connect and channel a lot deeper than usual. I felt like I could pick up on their guidance a lot easier without really trying as hard. I don't really try that much when I'm trying to do it, but it just came a lot stronger, a lot more naturally. So I really found that was happening, and also I found that I was having a lot less negative thoughts. And you could say that is because I've been working on my mindset for a long time, but the way it changed so drastically, like I gotten so much happier and so much more positive without trying to not battle my thoughts, because I got over that point, but I was just naturally having a lot more positive thoughts, and the negative ones just weren't coming up as often, whereas before they would come up, but I was able to change them into positive thoughts. So I'd already worked really hard to get it to that stage, and then now it just seems like I have less and less negative days. Do you know them dips that we have where, we are trying to stay in alignment and high vibe, but then we have our dips when we're just having a bit of a crappy day, and that's completely fine. But my crappy days don't feel as crappy, and I know that sounds really crazy just because I think it's because I stopped eating meat, but I think it's because of the negative low vibration that meat has. So if you think about it, the animal has lived not a very nice life, because in the olden days, people ate meat because they needed to eat meat, and the meat, like the animal, was free and lived free. These days, they're not. They're in factories and kind of not treated very well. But I'm not going to go into all of that because I don't really like to think of it. But basically, the negative mindset that the animal has and the negative life that the animal has, we all know that what we are is our vibration, and then you transferring that onto a plate, it still doesn't mean the vibration has gone higher because it's on a plate now. So when you consume that meat at that low vibration, you're then becoming that low vibration. And obviously we work really hard on getting our vibration a lot higher, so it's not like we're eating the meat and then we just stay in this low vibration. We are trying our best to raise our vibration all the time. But I'm just saying that it has a part in our low vibration when we're consuming low vibration, no matter where that comes from. So for me personally, this was a big change in my spiritual growth, and also in general just my happiness, because I feel so much healthier, I feel so much happier. I just feel more connected and more myself, even deeper than before. And I honestly think it has a part to do with the meat, and I didn't intentionally stop eating meat for this. I didn't actually think this was going to happen. And I honestly think about it, nearly a year ago, I was having a conversation with my mentor at the time saying, does anyone else feel like they're going off meat like really drastically? It was happening before that, but at that time it was just really consuming my everyday life. And I was pregnant, so I kind of put it down to that, but a few other girls on the call agreed that they was too, and they were trying to figure out different things to eat, but no one thought that it would be because of our spiritual growth. I just basically, we was just having a general chat about it, and I just put it on the table that like maybe it is, because we're going on a spiritual journey, maybe it's just a way of, you know, this is the next step. Because I do see a lot of spiritual people don't eat meat, and I just thought that was for a different reason. I didn't know it was for this reason, and I just wanted to put it out there that I didn't stop eating meat for my spiritual journey. It just happened. It's like I was trying to resist it, and then my spirit guides, my spirit team, my higher self was like, you're not going away from it, so we're just gonna make you not like it. So anyway, going on from that, it's not just me, it was just, I'm telling you my story because that was a really big changer in my life. So going on from that, I've been obviously trying to figure out what to eat and things like that. I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden I kept getting all of these guidance and messages, you know, channeled to me, like I need to be eating more greens, more greens, more greens. And I was thinking, I have never ate this healthy in my whole life, because genuinely vegetarian food is just genuinely more healthy. I did eat healthy before, but I ate a very balanced, like unhealthy and healthy. But now I genuinely just eat really, really healthy, and I feel really good for it, so I want to continue eating healthy. But they kept telling me, like, no, you need to eat more greens, and they kept pestering me to eat more greens, and I'm like, okay, like, why? Because I'm eating so much, like, healthy things right now. I'm eating a lot of greens, but why? And they basically just said it's for my health and it's for me, and this is what my body needs right now. So for you it might not be that, but I'm just letting you guys know what can happen. So if you have a thought in your head that you need to eat more of something, then maybe you should question it and, you know, see why you're getting that thought, because that might be them guiding you to what your body needs. And everyone's body probably needs different things. I'm not saying everyone needs to eat more greens, but naturally eating natural food has a higher vibration, you know, and it's essential for our body to have these vitamins anyway. It's just easier to get them in this type of food. But we're not even going to go into vitamins and all of that. We're just talking about vibration and things like that. So basically what I've been doing, I can't remember who actually told me about this. It was a while ago, and I've been using it a lot more recently. And I'll basically just hold whatever it is I've talked about this in a recent video. For instance, we're talking about food today. So I would hold whatever food it was that I was about to have, and I would say, okay, so you could speak to your spirit guides or, you know, higher self or whatever it is, and you just ask them, is this good for my body right now? Or should I eat this right now? Or should I leave this right now? Whatever it is, it just needs a yes or a no answer. And if it's a no, your body will sway slightly back. And I'm not saying you're going to do this. It's just going to be slightly. So really stay in the moment and stay concentrating. So if it's a yes, your body will sway slightly forward. And it's basically just your inner guide letting you know what you want to put in your body right now, what is best for your body. So I have been trying to not drink as much tea lately because I understand that it's not the healthiest for you. I always say to my partner, well, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Now I'm eating super healthy, so why should I quit tea? And he always says, like, well, I'm not telling you to quit tea, I'm just saying. Like, and it's like, it's not even him pestering me, it's me getting like annoyed about it, because I know that it's really not good for me, the amount I drink. So I've basically been asking myself, if I go to have a cup of tea, I'll be asking myself, okay, should I drink this tea right now? And not always do I sway backwards, but most of the time I do, because I drink a lot of tea. So I've been trying to just cut down on the tea because I actually feel like when I'm bored, I'm not bored, I've got a lot to do, but when I'm trying to maybe procrastinate and have a cup of tea while I do something, or before this video I was about to go make a cup of tea and sit down with my cup of tea and do the video. But what I've asked myself is, why am I doing this? Like, why am I trying to have as much tea as I can? And what keeps coming up, and it also comes up for my food, and this is why I'm making the video. So sometimes I'll make so much food and I know I won't eat all this food, it'll be so much, because I never know how much to make, as if like we're making rice and then you put a little bit in and then it expands so much and you're not expecting it to make, you know, that much rice. So that's just for example. And then I feel like I have to eat everything that's on the plate because I'm like, well, I don't want to waste anything. And then it's like, well, why am I thinking that way? So I've been really asking myself these questions lately, like, why do I feel like I need to eat everything? Why do I feel like I always need a cup of tea? And what keeps coming up is like a lack mindset. So I'm aware of it now, and it's not fully better. It's not changed. It has changed, but it is still in the process. So I keep trying to retrain my mind to say it's okay not to eat all of it, because I feel like, one, I don't want to waste food, because I always feel like there's people in different countries that are less fortunate, and or even in this country that's less fortunate with having food. But then also I feel like sometimes I use that as an excuse, because my limited belief is, I remember my mum saying if we'd go out for food to a restaurant, she'd be like, we're talking about the drink and be like, you're only having one to make it last, and things like that, and it just made me laugh. So that kept coming up every time I would, you know, like ask myself, like, I'm starting to feel full, so should I stop right now? Or should I keep going? And I've found myself not wanting to ask that question, even though I know it, I'm getting full. I'm like, I'm not going to ask because it's fine. And I'll keep eating it until I'm like, and then afterwards I'm like, I didn't even need to eat all that. There's like, I feel so sick now and it's horrible. But it's because I'm in a lack mindset while I'm doing them things. And it's not because of the food, it's not because of the, like, I'm not body conscious, there's not anything to do with that. It's more, if you're in a lack mindset, it's like, okay, so why do you think that there's not enough food? Or why do you think you'll run out of tea? It's things like that. And what I've traced it back to, I've done some like meditation and things like that on it, and tried to ask my spirit guides and my higher self, like, why am I thinking this way? And what they basically told me, they reminded me about a video I watched a very long time ago, where it was my mentor, or one of them, he basically was training himself to not eat as much food, not because he wanted to lose weight, but because he would always feel like he had to finish the plate. And I forgot about that, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I remember. So if you're trying to manifest love, if you're trying to manifest money, if you're trying to them two things mostly it's related to, but other things too. But honestly, for me, it was coming back to them two things. And it's not that I'm not trying to actively manifest them, but it was coming back to that. So if I had a lack mindset, and because I'd been taught this around my family, I think it was, so they basically were saying that you think that there's not enough in your life, and that's why you're trying to consume all of this meal, because you're scared that there's not enough, or you don't know when you're next gonna eat, or I think it's going back in my past as well. So there's been times where I have struggled to get a food shop in, and you know, it's not very nice feeling, And I remember thinking, okay, so if I eat all of this meal, then I should be fine for a while. And that's the kind of mindset I had to have at that time. Well, I didn't have to have that mindset, but what I thought at that time, I wasn't spiritually awakened, didn't know any of this. So that's the mindset I thought I had to have. And then right now, I've gone through so many changes. That's what's been coming up, and it's just for me to be aware of it, to change it. So I've been changing my belief around that, because honestly I always have enough now. Like, I'm okay, but it's just my old limited beliefs popping up just to let me know, you know, so I can change them. And I thought that was really interesting because I wasn't even aware I had that anymore. But yeah, I thought I would just share that with you guys because maybe you're experiencing that too. So changing your mindset right now, even if you're in the midst of it and you maybe feel like you need to eat this meal because you don't know when you're going to get another one, if you change your mindset now and think abundance mindset of everything. So I always have food in my house. I've always got enough to make another meal. It's okay. And then just changing that feels like such a better energy than, okay, I'm going to eat this because I don't know when I'm going to next have a meal. So it's not about the food, it's about the mindset around it. You have to have an abundance mindset of everything, because if you're making decisions through fear, you're not winning at life. You're going to constantly create experiences that are going to show you the same, and you're going to keep, reacting through fear rather than trusting in divine timing and trusting in your higher self and your own power. So that's been coming up a lot as well, to live your life through love rather than fear. I just remembered, I think I made a video on that like months and months and months ago. But yeah, trust in that you can live your life through love rather than fear, because everything is decided on your life because of you. So if you're living your life through fear, you're going to have more experiences to live your life through fear. So that brings me on to the next part of this video. Okay, so basically talking about intentions in our food. So putting intentions into our food and into our drinks, no matter what drink that is. So just before we get into that, I just remembered the topic about my tea. So drinking tea, I'm not going to completely never drink tea again, because I feel like I've cut out a lot of things in my life that I'm going to allow myself to keep drinking tea because I really enjoy it. So my goal is to have a cup of tea, but intentionally sit with the cup of tea and enjoy that cup of tea and have some me time, rather than constantly drinking the tea. I think that's why, well, it is a lie, why I shouldn't have had tea before this video, because I wouldn't have been enjoying my cup of tea and sitting and, enjoying my own company. I would have been quickly drinking it and then trying to make more of the video, and then I wouldn't have been enjoying it. And I think that it's the same with everything. Like, alcohol is a very, very low vibration, but if you enjoy drinking alcohol and you don't want to cut that out of your life completely, then by all means you should drink it, because you're living a human life, and you're meant to enjoy your life. So don't cut out things that are lower vibration if you don't want to. It's just about actually the quantity, obviously, because it's not good if I'm constantly drinking tea and stuff like that, and that's my only drink I have in the day. But having that one cup of tea a day, or if I don't feel like having that cup of tea that day, that's completely fine too, but having that one cup of tea a day and really sitting with it and feeling happy and just at peace, and just having my 5 minutes of peace from the kids, and some alone time, that's really with intention. That's really good. It's actually quite healthy because you're feeding your happiness, and that's what's most important. So even if it's with alcohol, maybe you're going out on a date night, like, oh, get you. Maybe you're going out on a date night and you feel like having that glass of wine with your meal. That's completely fine, then go do it. But like, just have it with intention and just enjoy the moment with the glass of wine and your partner and, you know, the nice food or whatever it may be. But just consciously enjoy it rather than kind of just drinking alcohol and not even realizing how much you're drinking and consuming and things like that. So that is the end story about the tea. I will stop going on about that. I also have a really cool cup collection because I love tea so much. So the last little section of the video is intention. So doing everything with intention, not only to just spend time with yourself while you're doing whatever you're doing, like while you're eating your beautiful meal that you prepared and, you know, you're really happy about, and having peace and quiet, but also putting intentions into your food and drink. So I might sound a little bit crazy, but you know, you're here, you're understanding what my channel is about, so you should get it by now. But putting intentions into like our food and drink. So our food is a vibration, our drink is a vibration. We can put our own spin on things. So if we are preparing our food, and we can just set our intentions into our food, so we just give it a vibration. So we do this a lot with water, but we can do it with food too, especially food we're cooking with water. But anyway, let's just carry on. We can just basically set our intentions. Like, I set my intentions to fill this food with love and joy, and whatever it is. And then you can also do the same with your drink. So then when you consume it, it's a very positive vibration rather than maybe a neutral vibration or a lower vibration. So that is it for today's video. It is a little bit longer than my usual videos, but I think it's a really fun topic to talk about. And yeah, it's nice for people to talk about it. I really enjoy hearing people's story and different takes on like food and what they eat and how it makes them feel, even if they have a relationship with that. A lot of the time, especially in my past, I didn't even have a relationship with it. I just thought, oh, you just get the cheapest thing, shove it in the oven, and then eat it as fast as you can to get onto the next thing. It really wasn't a healthy relationship, but you have a relationship with absolutely everything in your life. So making that relationship with food a healthy one, you have to eat it every single day. So imagine how many meals you have a day. If it's 3, then imagine like how many of them, 1, consume meat, 2, consume alcohol maybe, and 3, have you ever set your intentions into your food? So all of them added up over the next few weeks and then the next few months and then also years. How much of that is a low vibration that you've consumed into your body? Especially with the meat. So it's just something to, you know, think about, and only ever make decisions, you know, based on what you want as well. Don't ever take this video as me telling you not to drink alcohol or eat meat, because you should do what makes you happy. Just put our intentions into our food to raise the vibration and help us consume that. If we're consuming it, we are being that vibration. So yeah, it's just a nice topic to talk about. Yeah. So if you liked today's video, then please give it a thumbs up so more people can see it and join in the discussion. If you have any comments, then definitely leave them down below, and I will always get back to you. And also, whatever you're trying to manifest, then leave it down below so I can add you to my scripting list. And that's it for today's video. I will see you guys tomorrow. See you guys later.